each province, each country has a maximum amount of dogs it can carry because it's limited by resources. It means if you have, let's say, one street can have, there's enough food for 100 dogs. It means if you if dogs are being born, the survival rate of those puppies is related to the food sources. So more puppies will die if their survival rate is low, because it's limited by the amount of food. So resources is food, water, shelter. Water comes with nature, rain, and shelter, old buildings, ruins, or dogs can even dig holes to find shelter. I know it's a very simple picture, but I need to explain this is very important. So let's say the circle is, oval actually, is a city. It can have that amount of dogs and puppies. And in a normal situation, when people do not actually intervene, dogs from other areas migrate. That's normal. Of course, dogs die, natural or unnatural, most of the times starvation, and new puppies are being born. This is when you not, if humans do not interfere too much. Now, once we are starting to intervene in a dog population, some municipalities, what we see in Romania, is they put the dogs in a big truck and dump them in another city. Or they take a lot of dogs and put them in a shelter, or massive adoption, just a high-level adoption all at once. Euthanasia, of course, or killing, whatever you call it. Well, it's important how you call it, but so you can see that there is a result on the short term. The population will decrease for a very short period. But what happens after that is, because there's the same amount of food, the same amount of resources, the amount of the birth rate will become higher. A lot more puppies will be born. Dogs from other areas will migrate on a high level because there's food, so they run to another area where there's more food. And the national death rate will be lower, because they become more resources, so the survival rate becomes higher. So after that, we have the same picture where we started with. The amount of dogs is still at the same level after we intervene. And there are many, many examples of this practice. So I hope I made clear what the carrying capacity actually is. It doesn't matter if you put the dogs in a shelter, or if you kill them, or if you bring them to another country. And in this city or area, the situation returns to the carrying capacity. Another factor that has influence on the dog populations, well, Robert already mentioned it, is us, humans. If you don't know, this is a picture from Italy, from Romania, from I think it's India. The more garbage, the more food. So if you don't have a proper waste disposal system, I think Sofia now suffers, well, it's not fixed yet. The more waste, the more food for the dogs. People feeding dogs. Well, I'm sure it happens everywhere. People don't want to see dogs. People starve, so they feed the dogs. Of course, we influence the dog population because we abandon dogs. This is a Turkish dog, but it's a pedigree dog. So it's obvious it wasn't born in the street. This is a picture of Bhutan. Bhutan is a very small Buddhist country in between China, Tibet, and India. And because they're Buddhists, they don't want to kill dogs. They slaughter cows for food. They buy their meat in other countries. But what you see is that this religion has a negative effect because the amount of dogs is massive. But now they started implementing the term return. I spoke to a member of the royal family who was involved in this project, and it's starting to, it's going to be improved. It's improving now. So many people say religion is a negative effect on dogs because Muslims, they don't like dogs, they hate dogs, but religion can also, have another effect on the number of stray dogs. Of course, poverty is a factor that influences the amount of dogs. In Romania, we have the Roma, and I know we have them in Bulgaria as well, and they don't have any money to spare to their dogs, and it is a factor. Climate is also, of course, a factor because if you have severe winters with, minus 40 degrees or very hot summers, it has an effect on the dog population. And diseases as well, if there is a rabies outbreak or another disease that kill dogs, then it can have an effect on the number of dogs. I'm a dog lover, but I can understand why people don't like to have so many dogs on the streets. They cause road accidents. This is, if you look at it in a practical way, not an emotional way, but practically. Of course, they make noise at night, urine everywhere. This is just a joke, I hope you can laugh about it. Can the translator, can you translate it? Did he translate it? Text? Of course, they say the environment also suffers from dogs. Zoonosis is the zoonosis is like rabies. It's a disease that a dog can transfer the disease to humans. But that's why they call it the zoonosis. Of course, people get sometimes injured by aggressive street dogs, but it's just most dog bites actually happen not by street dogs, but by owned dogs. And of course, sometimes it takes chicken or they eat small livestock. But there's another reason why we should look at the dog in another way. It's also a moral and an emotional thing. Dogs suffer malnutrition because they're hungry. They suffer from diseases because nobody takes care of them. They get hit by cars or they start to fight and they get injured. Nobody takes care of them. Abuse by humans, of course, that happens. And cruel stray control measures. I'm sure you have the dog catchers. You have them in Romania and many other countries. And another thing is that, funny thing is, if I read a Dutch travel guide, for instance, for Bulgaria, there's always a warning that you are, as a Dutch citizen, you're warned before it's traders. So, it can be a reason why people don't visit these countries. Because if you're used to Holland or Germany, you're not used to stray dogs. And personally, I don't like to go to a country where there are stray dogs because I love dogs. And if you go to the street, oh my God, it's even big on the street. So that's also a reason why you start thinking about solving the problem. I already showed you this overview, but now I added some things. It's very important to focus on the right group of dogs when you want to solve the problem. If you want to make an intervention by return, you have to look at the rate of a free have to look at the reproduction rate. What you see now, especially in Bulgaria, is that we're focusing on the feral dogs. And as you see, the reproduction rate is very low. It's not those skinny, tiny dogs on the street looking for food. Those are not, shouldn't be your target, because they're owned dogs, supervised owned dogs. Another group very good are community dogs. Community governments choose to ignore. Well, I don't think I have to explain what will happen if you ignore a problem. It stays exactly the same. Some governments choose to cull means killing on the spot by shooting or by poisoning. And now I'm going to explain why this policy fails. Well, first I'm having the overview. Catch and kill is also, you have the dog catchers, quick trucks, collect the dogs, put them in a truck, and kill them in the shelter. Well, you don't call it shelter, killing pound or a place somewhere where they kill all the dogs. Well, yes, catch and kill. Now I'm going to show you why this policy is failing. I told you because it's aimed at a wrong group of dogs. Most of the times, you and other countries are facing are faced at the feral dogs, but this group is not very reproductive. Especially if you have dog lovers in the country, and we do have them, as soon as they hear dog catchers are coming into their town, they will hide the dogs. Right, the dog catchers. So it's impossible to catch all the dogs. I made a calculation for Sofia, and I will show it to you. These 9,000 dogs. I studied all the official press releases for Sofia, in English, Mr. Maidenov. He stated in December 2009 that the Bulgarian Academy of Science made a survey, and he said that there were 9,000 stray dogs in Sofia. This was an official press release by Petar Petrov. I'm sure this 9,000 dogs, it's not true. I mean, there are way more dogs in Sofia. I think the 9,000 stray dogs he means are those feral dogs. Now, if you, I just made a calculation, if you kill 76% of the whole dog population, so 9,000 dogs, every 6 months, after 7 years, the reduction is only 52%. So you start with 9,000 dogs and you end up with 6,000 dogs. This is a very simple. The calculations are way more complicated, but I wanted to show you. Now, I hope you paid attention, because now somebody should ask me, what about the carrying capacity? Because suppose the carrying capacity is 9,000 dogs, in the first few years, the dogs, the amount of dogs would remain 9,000. So this is I even made this calculation possible. In the end, after 7 years, you killed 80,000 dogs. So even if you look at the money, you have killing dogs, it costs you money. So you killed 80,000 dogs, and what is the result in the end after 7 years? So one of the speakers in the beginning was mentioning a quick solution. I have to disappoint you, there is no quick solution. You have to tolerate free roaming dogs in the streets for a couple of years. You cannot solve this today or tomorrow. You need a few years.